Men are easy. Avoid these 5 mistakes and a guy will be begging you for your number. Keep watching. Hey there, my name is Adam Little. I'm an executive love coach and the founder of Love Strategies, where we help successful single women get out there and attract long-lasting love and do it with a strategy. And I've been an executive love coach for, almost 15 years now. And before I was a coach for women, I actually used to coach men. And now, having coached over 44,000 clients here at Love Strategies, I can say one thing with confidence. Men are just simpler than women. And by the way, this is not a good or a bad thing for women at all. It's just an observation. If you avoid these 5 mistakes, he will be absolutely putty in your hand. The first one is just playing hard to get. Don't play hard to get, ladies. I get it. There's this mindset that he's just going to like me more if he thinks that I don't like him. Wrong. Like, this is so terribly wrong, and yet it's such super common advice out there. The truth is that if he thinks that you're going to reject him or embarrass him, he isn't going to try and talk to you or ask for your number. When guys go out and try to talk to women, they play the odds. If he thinks he's going to lose by going with you, he ain't playing. The second mistake to avoid is waiting for him to make all of the moves. Here's the reality about dating from a man's perspective. Dating world can just be a little bit tough for guys. And there are a lot of good guys out there who do want to be very respectful, but they're kind of worried about how far they should be able to push the limits, how hard they should try and pursue a woman. They're worried about getting Me Too'd or doing something inappropriate, which is a good thing. Like, guys should worry about that and be appropriate. But nowadays, there's a lot of guys who are even concerned about touching a woman on a second date or making any type of a move. There's just a lot of confusion for guys out there. So if you do like a guy and you're interested in him, you gotta make it really clear that you don't think he's a creep and that he doesn't give you the ick factor, okay? And at the end of the day, he's still gotta make the move. You just need to make it clear to him that you'll be receptive when and if he does make that move. And the easiest way to do that is just by breaking the touch barrier. Just lightly touching his arm anytime he says something even remotely funny. Touching his arm, ha 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 ha. Yes, we are simple, I get it. But by doing that, you're sending him massive signals that, hey, I'm open, I'm interested, you can touch me back, that's cool. It's not about being sexual, it's actually being sensual. You can touch him on his arm, you can touch him on his back, but let's not go too low there. But by breaking that touch barrier, you're really showing him that you're comfortable with him touching you in return. The third biggest mistake is that he sees you flirting with tons of different guys out there. Now, the reality of men that most studies show is that men tend to be more jealous than women are about sexual infidelity. And I think this leads to a lot of horrible stuff, such as slut shaming or judging a woman for being sexual with a lot of guys. I'm not cool with that. But the reality is that men do have a real tendency to be jealous about losing a woman to another man. And look, we all want someone who's just uniquely into us, not the person who just likes anyone out there. We want it to be uniquely for us. And look, there's a lot of research that shows that reciprocity, it really matters. Like, we like people who like us, and the person who likes everyone is definitely likable. While this might be really good for being friends, it's actually not really true when it comes to dating. At the end of the day, when it comes to love, we want someone who doesn't actually like most people, but does like us. We want someone who has a special connection with just us. So here's the reality. When you're following the little love steps, I want you to get out there and flirt with lots of different guys. I want you to be talking to lots of different guys until you're, of course, in an exclusive committed relationship. Then, of course, we stop flirting with multiple guys. But when you're talking to multiple guys at the same time, you don't need to make it abundantly clear to one guy that you're dating or talking to that you're talking to and flirting with lots of other guys. Since you're not in an exclusive relationship with this guy, there's no moral issue here. You just don't want to rub it in his face that you're flirting with lots of different guys at the same time. Now, the fourth biggest mistake is being hard to approach. This means when you're in social situations, you're always in a big group of people. You're with a lot of your girlfriends or a group of girlfriends and guy friends. If you're constantly going out and you're in those types of situations, you need to break away from the pack. You got to get away from them so it becomes easier for guys to actually come up and talk to you. If you're always in the part of the room that's really harder to get to, like the corners of the room, or you're just away from the main action, it's going to be really, really hard for them to come up and talk to you. So instead, break away from the pack, put yourself in the middle of the room, make it really easy for a guy to just bump into you. Funny seeing you here. Want to have a conversation with you. And suddenly now, that's where you put yourself in a situation for lots of guys to come up and start conversations. Some of them you might not be interested in. Some of them you might actually be very interested in. And the fifth biggest mistake is that you are a bristlemouth. Probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about, Adam? Well, a bristlemouth is also known as a light fish, and it's considered the most common fish in the ocean. So being a bristlemouth when it comes to dating is that you look like and act like every other woman out there. Instead, when we're dating, I want you to separate yourself. Don't be afraid of being a little bit different. Don't be afraid of being a little bit quirky. Be your true, authentic self. Weird self and all. I want it to shine. I mean, when a guy's talking to you, he shouldn't be able to think like, oh, I get it. She's just another same old woman I've talked to a million different times. I know her type. I've dated this mistake before. No, I want you to be interesting, quirky, different, unique. Put yourself out there, weird and all. Some people might not like you. Some people will like you a lot, and that's a wonderful thing. Don't try to blend in and do what every other woman is doing. Be weird, be crazy, and the reality is, you're not a bristlemouth anyways because you're learning, you're watching videos like this. Put yourself out there, avoid these mistakes, leave a comment below and say, I am not like every other fish out there. I'm ready to find love. Comment whatever you want. I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you next week. Bye-bye.